Welcome to Monday Morning Leadership Huddle, where we provide you with tips and tools to drive your leadership purpose. Hey, neighbor, I'm your favorite neighbor, Jay Murray. And today I want to talk about decision making. Decision making is one of those essential skills and tools that every leader has to practice. We live in a world today where we are bombarded with information and data. It's truly at our fingertips in which it can make the decision making process very daunting. I can remember throughout my leadership journey and times where I had to make a decision. I didn't always knew how I was going to make the decision or when a decision needed to be made or if I had all the factors to make the quality decision. When I think about that and I think about frameworks, one framework really has helped me to simplify the decision making process. And is one that I continue to use today, not only in the corporate setting, but also through my business and at home. And that is RAPID. RAPID is a decision making framework developed by Band and Company. It's a unique framework because it really outlines roles that represents critical functions of the decision making process. So this is a highly collaborative approach. No longer is the decision making on just one or a group of individual shoulders. You're now taking into account a lot of different roles and voices to help you make a quality and effective decision. So, what is RAPID? Well, RAPID stands for recommend, agree, perform, input, and decide. Each role represents a critical function within the decision making process and a role that at times you may engage more over the other, but each one plays a respective role to help the company or a group of individual or just the entrepreneur make an effective decision. So let's start with recommend. You can think of recommend as the initiator. Recommend are typically your individuals that represent your subject matter experts or your analysts. Maybe there's a situation at hand, maybe there's a problem that has occurred um, in the company at home, and it's time for us to provide a recommendation or we need a recommendation in order to get our decision going. So these individuals gather uh, information to make a recommendation or a course of action for us to take. Now that the recommendation has been given, let's look at other roles within the decision making process. Let's look at agree. Agree is a role that helps us to level set. This role here is pretty much made up everyone within the decision making process. This is where we want to get a good understanding what is at stake. If we are all agreeing on the recommendation and we feel that, hey, this is the best course of action for us to explore. Okay. Now, no final decision has been made. We're just agreeing that, hey, we're now going to explore this recommendation. We all agreeing that, hey, this recommendation is good enough for us to begin exploring. Now, another role that represents the decision making process in Rapid is perform. In the perform role, we are outlining all the tasks and steps that needs to take place. So we're documenting what each role, or in this case, each representative of the decision making process needs to do in order for us to start executing on the recommendation. So, as you can imagine, this can be a very lengthy process because there's tons and tons of communication and back and forth that may occur during this particular role because we need to get a true understanding that everyone knows what they are accounted for, what are their responsibilities in order for us to get going. Now, once we have outlined what needs to be performed, We have engaged those individuals. The next role we're going to look at in rapid is input, in which I would say this is definitely one of the most critical areas of the decision making process. An area that, when I think about again throughout my leadership journey, that I didn't always take into account or take a moment to really make sure that we take all the inputs. Meaning, during the input role, we are engaging with those that are implementing our decision. And what they're doing is they are gathering all the feedback from individuals that may be impacted on based on our decision. So they're gathering feedback either from customers, critical stakeholders. It could be gathering feedback from employees. Well, what we want to do is make sure that we can uncover what are some of the impacts from our decision, or what some future problems that could come up based on the decision that we're looking to make. As you can see, this can definitely break or make the decision, because we don't want to make a decision that down the road another problem arise, or that we excluded a critical voice in the process. So now that we have the critical input, we know the recommendation that we're looking to make, we have the agreement, and we know who's going to perform it and what tasks that needs to take place to start executing. The last and final step is to decide. So as you can see, with each of those inputs, when you make a decision using the rapid framework, you're definitely making a quality decision based on all those inputs and roles that's helping us to get to a sound decision. So for those that are the decision makers, which again could be the entrepreneur, the business owner, senior leaders, or the head of household, or if it's multiple heads of household, is making the decision, taking all those information, all the data points into consideration in their decision. So as you can see, rapid decision making framework is definitely a wonderful framework to help you identify roles and responsibilities within the decision making process, build collaboration within your team. That again, the decision is not just all on one person, that we're hearing voices from everyone on the team. Then this rapid decision making framework could be a wonderful tool for you to use to elevate your decision making, to help you make effective and quality decisions. So there you have it, rapid decision making framework. Let me know how it goes when you start using it with your teams, or if you use it even in your house. As I said before, definitely makes a great way to order food on Fridays. And so if you like this tool and you want more tools and tips to help you drive your leadership purpose, don't forget to hit like and subscribe. And always remember, leadership is not a title, but a choice. Be blessed. See you at the next huddle.